Shalom, it's David Benkof, the Broadway Maven, and today I'm going to be talking to you about a really, really interesting topic, and that's how gay is West Side Story. And the fact is, it's pretty gay. So let's start. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell in order to get notifications when I get a new video, which is several times a month on the Broadway Maven channel. Okay, here we go. West Side Story. First thing we have to look at is the creators of the show, because the people who created the dancing and the music and the lyrics in the book are all gay Jewish men. The dancing, Jerome Robbins, gay. Music, Leonard Bernstein. He was gay, he did get married, but he was sort of forced into that marriage. Arthur Laurents, who wrote the book. Laurents is gay, and then Stephen Sondheim, who wrote the lyrics. The first question I want to ask is the song Somewhere reference to homosexuality? And it might be. If you just look at the lyrics, there's a place for us, a time for us, peace and quiet and open air, wait for us somewhere. Now, if you only saw those lyrics, but you were told that the lyrics were written by a gay guy, you would probably think, oh, this song is about homosexuality. Now, of course, in the context of the show, it's about a love between a European descent guy and a Puerto Rican woman. But, you know, it very well today could be about two men. And the fact is, this is a very popular song to be sung by gay choruses. Did they mean it to be a gay song? And I will argue, as I have in our class many times, I will argue that it doesn't matter, or at least it doesn't matter that much. Now, there could be several reasons that a creator of a work would not identify what I would identify as the theme of the work, that they might even argue with me. First of all, they might be lying. Best example is Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds is about LSD. How do you know? Newspaper taxis and marshmallow, all this kaleidoscope, all the stuff that is in the lyrics are just trippy. And the idea that they write something that looks like psychedelic imagery, they name it something that has the initials LSD, but they come up with this story about how it's based on this children's drawing. They're lying. So there's that. I don't think that's going on here. But the second possibility is that you use language that has multiple meanings. So we've done a couple examples in my class. To stick with the Beatles, you might go with Let It Be, where Paul McCartney says that Mother Mary, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. That Mother Mary doesn't refer to Jesus' mother, but it refers to his mother, who is named Mary McCartney. Now, that's just impossible that he's unaware that the phrase Mother Mary has a religious connotation within Western society. He knows that. Things have multiple meanings. Here's another example. We talked, when I did my class on gypsy, we talked about the meaning of the word gypsy, and Gypsy Rose Lee's son came to class. And he said, my mother insisted that the show be named after her book. She insisted that her name was Gypsy Rose Lee, and so the show needed to be gypsy. But the fact is, the word gypsy also refers to anybody who does a lot of traveling, and it also refers to dancers in a Broadway show. And that title absolutely has multiple meanings, even if the creator of the show argues that it's one, or did it to convince, in order to convince Gypsy Rose Lee to go along with the show. That doesn't mean that the other meanings are not there. Does it matter if they intended it to be gay? I don't think so. Anybody's, who is a character that has been called the first transgender teen on the American stage, and Anybody's is a what would be called a tomboy who really, really wants to be a part of the gang. And she really is played, usually, including in the movie, as rather masculine and really wanting to be one of the guys. And that has certainly has trans or butch overtones in the show and any production that I've seen. So Anybody's is another piece of the homosexuality. Then we have the relationship between Riff and Tony, who've been living together with Tony's parents but they've been living together, and they say things to each other that have, sexual connotations, like sperm to worm. There's a lot of roughhousing. There's one scene in which they sort of fall on top of each other. The scene before something's coming. So it is. I would say that contributes to the homoeroticism of the show. Although, frankly, you've got men dancing together from the prologue, and one of the remarkable things about Jerome Robbins as a choreographer is he's able to make sailors and gang members dance while still being masculine. But you can be gay and still be masculine, and certainly some of the dancing looks gay. In terms of the way that the men are relating to each other. That's how it seems to me, both in the prologue and later in the show. When everybody sits together, boy, to me, that sounds like keep in your pants, guys. I know you're really excited, but here we are in a circle talking about being overheated. To me, that seems rather gay. Don't get mad at me, but the song, I Feel Pretty, oh, so pretty, I feel pretty and witty and gay, does refer to homosexuality. How do I know? Because Stephen Sondheim knew that the word gay referred to homosexuality because it was in common parlance, particularly in the gay community, already by the 1950s. And similarly, when Stephen Sondheim wrote Isn't It Queer as part of Send in the Clowns, he also knew that queer had multiple meanings because by the 50s, queer was used to mean homosexuality, and it was absolutely used that way within the gay community. Not like Queer Nation would later become it wasn't like reclaimed as a term of pride, but if you were queer, it's a word that you were familiar. A couple of really fun parodies on TV. This has become sort of a trope where if you want to show homosexuality on the part of a character on television, you show them dancing with a West Side Story dance. In this clip from the Real O'Neills on ABC, a gay wrestler finds that he can only win if he pulls out some moves from West Side Story.
I want to win this. How am I going to do that?
What is he doing?
I know this. I know these moves. It's West Side Story. It's Riff and Bernardo at the Rumble.
And from this scene from Hoops on Netflix, the straight characters think they can beat up the gay characters by resorting to moves from West Side Story. It doesn't go well. Has my argument convinced you? Am I spot on or am I way off? Give your answer in the comments below. The Broadway Maven meets many Mondays at noon and 8 p.m. Eastern Time for a free class. It also meets on some Wednesdays and Thursdays for greatest hits classes. Here are the titles of some recent classes: Into the Woods, Mary Poppins, Contemporary Jewish Broadway, Guys and Dolls, and more. See the upcoming schedule at thebroadwaymaven.com. To get more videos like this one, give this video a like. Even better, subscribe by pressing the button that says The Broadway Maven.